Hello there, and welcome to this little episode of me telling about what I'm considering knitting this spring. I don't know. I'm super springy prepared today, meaning that I'm having a full-on wool shirt on, or sweater with a wool shirt underneath because spring has not really arrived yet, and it's spring like tomorrow. For me, it's the 29th today, so yeah, but nonetheless, I wanted to share with you the knits that I'm considering working on this spring and working up for spring, but also as well for summer, but it's mainly just my spring knit suggestion list. I got 10 knits from other designers, and then I got some self-drafting ideas if you just want to hear a bit about how I consider things. But before that, let's just go a bit back and say hi. My name is Michelle. I am a 26-year-old knitter. I live in Denmark with my boyfriend, and once in a while you're going to hear a bit about chronic pain as I suffer from it myself. I'm going to try and link to as many things down below as I can. I have made a Ravelry bundle with all of these, though one of them is not the edition that I want to make, but I'm going to link to the website where you can get that. She just doesn't have it on Ravelry at the moment, but nonetheless, that doesn't matter. Yeah. As well as I want to say, I am not one that doesn't knit sweaters in the summer or spring. I knit sweaters all year round. For me, living in Denmark personally, the weather is cold in the summer as well. Not like up north, but the evenings are often chill. So for me, having a sweater or a pullover, something that can just warm you up in the evening or on the cold summer days, because we do have cold summer days, yeah. That's just fantastic to have. So what I've been looking at prior to this is I've been looking at pullovers, vests, just to have over a dress or anything, just to bring a bit more heat to it. I've also been looking at sweaters, and I have a single sweater and it's a light sweater. It does come in in both a normal and light version. I've taken the light version, but otherwise, especially cardigans. And I really want to knit some more cardigans myself as well, because cardigans are easy layered. You just put on, take off if you get too hot and everything, and it's easy to style with a lot of things, I feel. So I got that as well. And then some tops and camisoles, or whatever you call them, because I feel like though it might be too cold here to wear them on their own most of the days, it is really nice to layer them, to either have them underneath a cardigan, to pop them over a t-shirt or a long sleeve depending on the weather. And then we do have those really weird hot days during the springtime, and they're just going to be great. And then of course for summer they're going to be awesome. So the yarns that I've chosen to look at, of course all of them have suggested yarn. I'm going to talk a bit about that, but I've also just researched a bit on my own, because what yarn would I personally probably use, because some of these are not Danish designers, some of them are, and some of the yarns are very expensive. And for me, suffering from this chronic pain, that means that I currently don't have a job, means that my budget is very limited. So I wanted to to just come with some suggestions of both the more cheaper yarn and the more pricier, that I would say usually also is fabulous. Not that the cheap yarn, I use that a lot too as well, and there's nothing wrong with it like that. It's nice yarn, it holds up super well. For what kind of yarn I've chosen, I've tried to go mainly with wool or wool blends, as a book, with cotton or more summer blends. So I have a few wool suggestions for a lot of them. The cardigans I don't mind, because again, you can just take them on enough. But with the tops, t-shirts, it's sometimes quite nice that it's not too hot. So I avoided alpaca, because this one here, this one is knitted in alpaca mini, I believe, and it's warm. It's really warm. And alpaca just is warm. I have some other tops that I previously knitted with alpaca, and it is really, really a warm fiber, and it's so nice. But this is just something that I would wear for the colder days, and my focus is more on, now that it's in the northern hemisphere, it's getting warmer in a minute. It's the bed. I'm really excited for spring. I love winter, but I prefer snow. Right now it's just cold and windy. So yeah. So I have, as I said, 10 patterns for you. I'm gonna repeat some of the yarns a bit. I have squished two together because they use the same yarn, it's the same. So that's exactly the same, so I'm gonna squish them together. But yeah, I have my trusty Remarkable here with all my notes on, and I have my computer in front of me. So if I'm not looking at you there, it's because I'm looking for notes. I want to be right. I want to make sure I say the right thing. So I got all the patterns on my computer, and I got all the yarns written down and everything. And yeah, so just so you know, it's not because I don't want to look at you. It's just better to be right. That's what we're going to say. Yeah, good. So let's jump right into it. Yeah, the first one I have is the Alice Camisole by Joanna Girish. I'm so sorry if I butcher any pronunciation. She is a German designer and goes under the username by Colibri by Joanna. And you can find her on Instagram and all sorts of stuff, and she really makes some beautiful designs. I've had this on my list for a bit of a while now, and it's called the Alice Camisole, if I didn't already say that. Yeah, remember, my brain is mush and that. Whatever. It's a camisole that you knit the camisole itself, and then you and then you make these flowers on afterwards. What's it called? Embroidered. It says right here in the pattern. It's embroidered. And I think it's so cute, and the color is so great as well. That's another thing I want to talk about. I'm going to talk a bit about some of the colors for some of the things. I could really imagine knitting this cardigan up in the same kind of rusty orangey color that she knitted it up in. I really like these more really saturated colors. I really think that's great. But she knitted it in what's it called? Novita Natural Collection Cotton Feel, and it's a cotton blend yarn. I haven't heard of that here in Denmark before, but I looked at some other yarns that could go for that. And the cotton and wool blends I could consider using would be Hjertegard's merino cotton, And then Drops got a cotton merino as well, it's just called cotton merino. And Mayflower got one called Alliance, that's also a blend. All of these are, as I believe, 50-50 blends of wool and cotton, which to me would make it a bit more summery, springy to use, easy to wear during the summertime here. And just personally, I think that cotton in itself sometimes is a bit dry to knit with, so I like the cotton merino blend. That's just for me. If I were to go for a wool one, I saw that, oh my god, I went out of it. The Drops Daisy is a possibility to use. There's also the Mayflower Easy Clear Classic. I knitted a few things in that. I like that. It's a nice cotton one. Yeah. She has sizes, I think that's important to talk about as well. She has sizes from extra small to 4XL. So I think that goes somewhat around. I don't know if I can see the... She goes up to a bust circumference of 122 with 8 centimeters negative ease. So it will be smaller, but so she's not all the way up there, and not. The smallest is 78, which would be a bust size of 70. So she got a bit. As a person who is in the middle, it's hard for me to be exactly when it goes, but I've seen a lot of others talking about they would like to have things larger. But she does go up quite well, and presumably you could make the circumference bigger. So yeah, but yeah, I really love it. I think it's such a beautiful project. I really like the look of it. It got 14 projects on Ravelry so far, and I've seen both people. I looked at them, and some people did the embroidery flowers, some didn't have the flowers but made it in stripes. I think it's a very versatile pattern. It's a simple tank. It's a simple top. Looks a bit like this, but without the just has the wrap. I'm going to talk about this later. But yeah, so that's the first one. That is the Alice camisole. Alrighty, the second one I want to talk about is called the chocolate waffle vest, and I actually found this last year or something. I was looking for some vest patterns, some pullover patterns, and I couldn't really decide what I wanted. I did end up not making it. I think I made something else, but it's still on the list. It's still in my favorites. I really like it. It's by Lana Valentine. I haven't really heard that much otherwise about. I don't know much other things about her. I just found this pattern I thought looked really cute. And yeah, she suggests using 3 yarns going together to be bulky. So she used a Hayfield bonus chunky, paint box yarn simply chunky, and Cold Big Value tonal chunky. Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading a bit to figure out. It's just that it's chunky, so I'm wondering if she uses all 3 together, or if it's separate, or just 3 different suggestions. I'm so sorry, I don't know. But I did look up at some things that I would suggest using as just a single strand, because when I looked at the projects, it does says 14 projects, and I looked at, I think there was 4 showing up for me just with, pictures, with pictures, and they all used a single strand. So I could think it's a single strand, and I think if I were to knit it, I would knit a crop version. I saw some that knit long and some that knit in a crop, and then make the ribbing in the bottom a bit longer, and I think that looks so great. I really like the waffle pattern on it. I think it's super cute. But I just looked at two. One that I have tried and one that I'm curious to try because I just saw it and I was like, ooh, I haven't seen that before from them. The first one is Istex La Fosse Lopé. It's warm. It is a warm wool. It's more of a raw wool, and you got, I believe that's the wool where you got, sheep has multiple layers of, like, just like dogs and cats sometimes do, of wool, and they got all the layers, so it's really warm and really nice for outside. And that's why I kind of put this on, because it would be really nice for, like, just to put over if you're just a bit cold on your core. For those bit more chilly days, I think it would be absolutely great. But for the warmer days it wouldn't work. I think you would choose a different, I did see some other, but a lot of them were wool, and I would in general probably prefer doing wool. But yeah, I think Mayflowers have one of the big ones, Molly I think it's called. But the other one I looked at was Navia Tradition. I did some of my own designs or self-drafts in Navia Trio, and I've knitted some in Navia Duo as well, and I really liked it. And then I saw they had this cool Tradition, also 100% wool, but the yarn was a bit more, it's easier to see, it's not as fuzzy as the A La Fosse Lopé. The A La Fosse is very mildly spun, if it's spun. It doesn't look, it is spun if you look at an unspun, I'm pretty sure, but it's very loosely spun. Whereas the Navia Tradition is more a tighter spin, tighter twist. So I would believe that the pattern would be a bit more, because it's a textural pattern, I think it would show up a bit more. I think that would have be quite cool for it. And yeah, the one that I see here, she doesn't really have a lot of, yeah, she only has one size, which I do think is odd. But perhaps it's, well, it is a free pattern on Ravelry, so I would believe that that probably is because she knitted one for herself. I don't know. I'm sorry, I haven't, yeah, she improvised it. So I believe that that's what she also writes, that she used a 4-row repeat of knits and purls. So I believe you could easily put more of those in and add it to the site, but you just need to be aware. And I'm sorry if it's not, if you're not into that, but I'm sure some other people have or can easily help. I know, to me, you would usually just, okay, put 4 or 8 more stitches in until you find the size that fits you. But it is a bit of a, you need to, yeah, what's it called? You need to calculate. I don't really see the big problem because it's improvised, it's free. She doesn't earn any money on it, and it's a cute vest. So yeah, but she knitted it in a size small, so that's a UK 10-12. She writes. But that's the second one. So I thought we can move on, because the next are I think next 2. Because that is number 3 and number 4, because they have the same yarn suggestions. So I found the same yarn suggestion for both of them. Sorry, lazy me. Number 3 and 4 are the Cumulus Tee by Petite Knits and the George's Top by Joanna Gerish. Colibri by Joanna again. I think a lot of us know Petite Knit, and I thought this was a tea that I knitted myself. It's an easy tea. It's she is really good at writing patterns, and I really do like them. It's just that I think there are so many other designers worth out there mentioning. So it's not because I don't like her designs, but I do like lots of stuff. That's why there's only one on this, but she does have tons. But she's so easily to come by. So yeah, we can start with that. The Cumulus tea, it's like it's a long tea. It goes, she has it to around here. I have made 2 of them. I have one that I knitted in, I do believe I knitted it in something like this. I just have found this. This is Lana Cotton 212. I do believe I knitted something like that, the regular length, and that is a nice summer spring tea. And then I have one that I've knitted in alpaca silk. I've knitted it with a bit longer sleeves. They go down here. That is hot. Again, that's why I don't include. That's why I try not to include alpaca in this list of yarns that I suggest. So yeah, it's knitted from the top. It has like a raglan. It's super nice. As you might recall now, I've knitted it twice. The other one is the George's top, as I said, and by Colibri by Joanna. I think it's so cute. It's a top with like white straps, and the shoulder detail with the bow is so cute. So yeah, George's top goes from extra small to an extra large, 3XL. Which would be the measurement here, 125 centimeters in the bust circumference, and you have an ease of 0 to 5 centimeters positive ease. And the Cumulus tee, let's have that on here. That goes from extra small to 3XL as well, and that has the top circumference is 135 centimeters. She also has Petite Knit also has sleeve circumference. If your circumference of your bicep doesn't match your chest circumference, that sometimes happens. But yeah, I think both of them are nice, and I really want to knit the George's top this summer, I think, or spring. I really like it. But yeah, I have some cotton and wool blend suggestions, because again, then it would be easily used well into the summertime, both of them. And that would be Lana Cotton 212 from Yadigan. That is this one, for example. I really like this. This is actually quite a dusty, low, not so vibrant, low vibrancy green, but I really like it. I knitted a t-shirt, a soft life t-shirt in this last year, and I really like the yarn. It's really nice. And then the Mayflower Easy Care Cotton Merino as well. I believe that's basically like this. I haven't tried it, but I like Mayflower's yarn. They're a Danish brand. And yeah, I would just be nice and easy, and those fit. The thing is, I've all of these that I'm taking in match in the length and grams and gauge, more or less. So that should somewhat less match. Yeah, and then you could, if you wanted to knit it in wool, completely wool. A thing as Sadness Sunday could be a fine opportunity. I'm pretty sure that the pattern, I have a physical pattern of the Cumulus tee and the top actually, and one of them I'm pretty sure does ask for the Sadness Sunday. So that's a great opportunity. So yeah, that was number 3 and number 4. Number 5 on this list is the Generous Cardigan by Visit. And I love this one. It has these big balloon sleeves. I just love the build and the way it's built and knitted. I think it's gorgeous. The pattern goes from extra small to 2XL or XXL. I hope it's the same. And the fit should be to for you to be from 80 to 85 centimeters of bust size to 110 to 120. That's what the sizes you have. The cardigan itself has a bust circumference from 98 to 136, which gives you quite a big positive ease from 10 to 16 centimeters. So if you wanted a less, it to be less oversized, you could do that and just knit the bigger size if you surpass the sizes she has. But yeah, that's the sizes. I don't know what to say. That's just the sizes. I'm in the middle. For me it's a bit hard. So if you have a specific size that you would like to see in patterns, I would like to include to see if those patterns that I go for have those sizes in. Please write a comment. I do believe that we should be as as wide as possible. But yeah, she knits this one in Filcolana Peruvian and in Filcolana Tilia. And that would honestly be a blend or a combination that I probably would use myself. I do think they're nice, the Filcolana yarn. So yeah, but otherwise I looked at a few. You could do Drops Alaska and Drops Kit Silk together. I believe that would give you the same weight, yarn weight, and it would, by holding the kit silk with it, it would give that bit of a fuss that the Tilia gives. The other possibility would be to do the Mayflower Easy Care Big and their kit silk. Again, just giving it a bit of fuss with the kit silk. Yeah, I think I just love this pattern. I think it's gorgeous. I again would probably shorten this, as I wear a lot of high-waisted trousers, pants, skirts, and my dresses have often cinches in at my waist. I think it would be nice with a bit more of cropped version of this. But again, you can modify it the way you want and don't want. And that's the beauty of it. So yeah, that's the Generous Cardigan. My number 6 is the Generous Sweater. So we're gonna go nicely along to the next one. That is the sweater version of this. This one has a bit of a lighter gauge. Still has the sleeves, still the gorgeous, still by Visit, everything. And this one is designed to fit from 78 centimeters bust to 130, 140 centimeters. So that's a little like a larger size range. And she calls this from extra small to 3XL. I think it's great. So yeah, but again, the positive ease here is 0 to 5 centimeters, so it's a bit tighter in it, but it's a sweater, so you know, it's different. I really think it's gorgeous still. It still has the sleeves. That's just what I love about it. And the more thin fabric the yarn gives really gives on the picture such a gorgeous gives the yarn, not the yarn, the fabric the yarn makes such a gorgeous fall. Is that what it's called? It makes it gorgeous. She uses BC Garn Bio Shetland Gots and Kremke Soul Wool Silky Kit. Those two together. Great opportunity as well. I haven't knitted with either of those. I'm not so great at finding yarns fitting together online. I like to look at it physically, and I didn't have the opportunity to do it for this one. But I did look a bit at what I do believe would give the same yarn weight, and that is the Drops Baby Merino and the Drops Kid Silk together. Again, giving it just a bit of a fuss with the Kid Silk. And then I looked at the Lana Grossa Cool Wool and Bella. And I haven't knitted a lot in Lana Grossa, but I did buy some of her hand-dyed yarn 2 years ago. I knitted a dress in it, and I think it's nice. So I do like her yarn from the very, very limited try I have. So that's an opportunity, and yeah, but because it's two yarn together, I think, yeah, I wouldn't really know for sure, but definitely her suggested going with the BC Garn and the Kremke would be a good opportunity, depending on how easy it would be for me. I know the BC Garn is easy to find. I haven't really, I don't know if I just didn't notice or if I just haven't seen the Kremke yarn, but I believe another Kid Silk mohair thing would be equivalent to that. So yeah, I'm not done with piecing it, and I don't know why these ended up going a bit faster. I'm sorry, but I have one last one from Visnit, and I took them in alphabetical order when I make my list, so it's not with I want to knit this the first anything. I just did them alphabetically, and then I just popped two of them together. It's not alphabetically, but yeah. The next one is called Mellow Tea, and also from Visnit. This one I tried to knit. I tried to knit this one last year, because I had Sandnes Garn Tønline. I bought it on sale, and I was like, I'm gonna try this yarn. It was kind of fun to knit with, but the thing is, it doesn't bloom. And I wouldn't have needed that for the Mellow Tea, because the first of all, it's knitted with two strands of yarn, with the Filcolana Messi and the BC Garn Bio Balance Gots, which give you 24 stitches for 10 centimeters, and I do think I somewhat hit that. It was just, I could just see straight through my knit, and I luckily did do a swatch. I could just see straight through, as well as when I washed it. So, and I didn't have enough of it to make the tea on a smaller size needle, and then go up in sizes. I couldn't. So yeah, I didn't knit it. I knit another top instead. I really want to knit this one. And as I said, she uses Filcolana Messi and the BC Garn Bio Balance Gots. And honestly, that would be an opportunity. I do think that I perhaps could use, I'm sitting and looking at my Lana cotton again, 28 stitches. Something like this I could use as well, and perhaps with a single strand or others. I did have a bit of a hard time just thinking, because I had such a hard time with it last year, having my my swatch get to see-through. But there's so many, again, good yarns out there, and I just really like the sleeves on it. Again, I love her sleeves. The Visnit makes such beautiful sleeves, I believe. So that's like really what I love about this. and yeah, but her own home suggestions. Wow, just lost everything there. Her own suggestions are for me really, really well. I have knitted with the Filcolana Messy before, and I've heard a lot about the BT yarn. I believe that's just. Does she knit with one? It might just be me. I do believe they're just knitted with one at the time. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's not the same. I've knitted with Filcolana Tilia before. Not Tilia. Merci. And I like it. It reminds me a lot of this. I actually think that's the one I knitted my Cumulus tea in, when I think about it. But yeah, so I don't have much of other suggestions for that one. I just really wanted it in because I really love the tea. I really love the sleeves. It has a bit of a high neck, not a high neck like this. Doesn't have a turtleneck, but it goes nice and out like a t-shirt. So yeah, I really like this. I would love to knit it, and this one is definitely on my to knit list this year. Then I have the Oh My Figure in. Oh my god! Sorry, let's just reverse a bit. The Melody I do have suggestion, it's this one I don't have, because this is the one I've had a bit of trouble with. So for the Melody, I've been looking a bit at some merino wool, and you could use the Drops Paper Merino easily, and that would probably be one of the things I would like to try. There's also the Yadigan Extra Fine Merino 150. And then there is the Yadigan All Season Blends, which is a blend of merino and cotton, I believe. And then there's the Yadigan Blend Bamboo. And this one, I really want to try. And this, if not the Baby Merino from Drops, it might be the Blend Bamboo from Yadigan. Because I haven't really knitted with bamboo yet, and I am really, really curious to knit with it. And I believe it's 70% bamboo and 30% cotton. I'm a bit curious to see if it's too dry for my hands. Perhaps just use a lot of moisturizer, and then we're over that. But I do sometimes get a bit dry. But I really want to try knitting with bamboo because it feels so nice. So yeah, sorry. That's it for the Melody. Love it, gorgeous. Now on to number 8, which is Oh My Figure V-neck by Oh My Knits. This one I'm gonna link her website as well, where you can find all the patterns, because on Ravelry she doesn't have, she only has the original pattern, which is Oh My Figure, and then you buy an extra pattern for just a small amount of money, not as much as the original pattern. You buy an add-on that gives you a V-neck shape. This is the Oh My Figure, and I knitted it as a blend between long sleeve and short sleeve, so like 3/4. But this one is just a regular neck. I'm just going to take it down so you can see a bit better. Yeah, this one is just a round neck. A bit of a high round neck. And last year she got out with the V-neck version of it, and she knitted it in the most gorgeous orange colour. She knitted an entire dress. I don't know what part of it I would do, if it would be a t-shirt, top, a dress, I don't know. I love them all. And the reason why I, for this one, didn't find any suggestions is because she has 2 suggestions that for me just would be kind of good. I knitted this one in silk, alpaca mini, and it's freakishly warm. So I don't want that for summer knits. But she suggests just in Ravelry using Garn Studio Drops Kit Silk, or Drops with Drops Alpaca Silk, or Go Handmade Tencel Bamboo Fine with the Go Handmade Tencel Bamboo Double. I believe, I'm a bit unsure, but it's yarn held together, so yeah, that must be that. And the cool thing about this pattern, as I have knitted it before, it is that she has these standard sizes from A to something. She goes in the alphabet, but each size, you go for the bust size, for example, then you can, it has a, you can see that it has these intakes and take out, in decreases and increases. Thank you, language. It has these decreases and increases, and you can actually vary the size of your pattern, of your size, with up to 8 centimeters, I believe, which I think is so cool and so great. And I just love it, and I would love a V-neck because that's so summery. So yeah, that is the Oh My figure. The next one I have is the wrap top. Or it's called the wrap bra / top, and it's by Naked Knits. If you've seen my last podcast episode, I believe, I talked about this one because I finished it and I really like it. It's cute. You can make it both as a bra and as a top. So if you want it even more summery, you can use it. You can make the bra version and perhaps use it for just chilling, going to the beach or whatever. Wherever you feel comfortable wearing it, you can use it there. Sorry, there's a piece of yarn on my mouthful. So I think that's, I think it's cool. I've knitted this one in Sandness Sunday. And it's nice. I, at the moment, wear it over something else because it's freakishly cold still, as I've said. But yeah, the wrap top by Naked Knit is super cute, and it may only say it has 3 sizes, but you can make it work for you. The only thing is, then you don't know how much yarn you need, because they only have the amount of yarn they suggest using, they believe using for small, medium and large. But the thing is, they tell you to knit until a certain point of your own body. And then they help you how to measure and how to count and how to calculate. They help you calculate how many stitches you then need and what you need to do then. I love it. It's so perfect. And what I also love about it is that they have the opportunity, you get the opportunity to do well, these straps where you can adjust them. And I think that's super great, because that means that you can, for me it means that if I'm wearing a shirt or blouse, that's gonna add volume underneath this one, in contrary to if I'm just wearing a bra or nothing underneath. So that's nice to be able to work a bit on the sleeves of the straps like that. But yeah, I knitted mine Sunday. They themselves suggest using Lang yarn Cashmere Premium if you want a really nice one. They especially suggest this if you want to wear it as a bra, that it has to be soft, and that's why they do come with cashmere yarn, that they suggest that, because the second one is Gepard Garn Cashmere Lace again, and then Lanes du Nord Cashmere Luxury Line. So as you can hear, that's a lot of cashmere, but that is because that it's also made as a bra, which is supposed to be completely close to your body. But I knitted this one this Sunday. I also could see it being knitted in Mayflower Easy Care if you're out for the wool version of it. And if you're into some blends, then again, Lana Cotton 212, sorry. Yadigan Blend Bamboo could be a possibility again. And Mayflower Easy Care Cotton Merino. So if you're more into like the blends for summertime, that could be a great opportunity. But this one also, I can see myself wearing this easily under something like this for winter time, or for colder periods. It's easy to put something over. You sometimes layer a lot in the winter. That would be a nice thing to layer with. So yeah, that was number 9. Last on this lovely list is the one called Twine Cardigan by Lene Rix from Art Row. And I just think it looks gorgeous. I really, really like the way it looks. It has this sort of cables in the what's it knitted? Sorry, I'm just thinking it's knitted in double stitch. And then yeah, it's just gorgeous. I'm sorry. It's because for me it looks a bit like ribbon or some sort of what's it called? I don't know. No, whatever. It looks sort of ribby for me, and I just think it's gorgeous. I think it would be beautiful to wear over any kind of summer dress. Basically everything. I just love it. It's she suggests using Isair yarn alpaca 1 held together with Isair yarn silk mohair. So 2 very light yarns, and 2 yarns that I feel was very hard to find anything similar to. But I do know that Sandnes does have called Flytrol, which basically is alpaca 1. So that could be an opportunity to use Sandnes alpaca Flytrol together with the touch silk mohair, perhaps. That would give it the same, because then you have a slit yarn, a yarn with fuzzy yarn and a non-fuzzy yarn together. But I do believe you could just as well do it in 2 kinds of kid silk or something like that, as long as you have the same. They go somewhat. Both of the suggested yarns go around 400 meters per 50 grams, and kid silk usually most of them go 200 meters per 25 grams, which would give you the 400 every 50 grams. So yeah, that's the last one. I think it's gorgeous. She goes from 2XS, so XS, extra small, to 3XL. And let's see the sizes from that. Chest width fits with bust circumferences from 75 to 130 centimeters. So, and then you have a positive ease for around 50 to 20 centimeters on top of that. I just think it's gorgeous. So that was all of my patterns that I have on my possible spring knit list. This is in no way a list that I necessarily am going to follow. As I said, this is a list that basically is in alphabetical order. You can find a bundle of it, also in alphabetical order. Some of them are on my queue and some of them aren't, and that's just because I do not know how to use Ravelry half the time. And the other half, I forget that I use Ravelry. So sorry about that. But this is just some of the things that I've been looking into, that I've been having saved for a while and that I could see myself knitting up during springtime and even summertime. Though if you like this, I'm probably going to do an updated one for summertime. If you're interested in watching a bit about me talk, if you're interested in watching me talk just a tad about some self-drafting ideas I'm having, stick around. I'm going to talk about them now. If not, thank you for watching. Hope you will follow me, and I'll see you next time. But if you want to watch some self-drafted idea, just quickly, just me talking about it, perhaps a quick sketch if I have any. But I have a few ideas, and I have them here. One is a self-drafted pullover, like a vest with some cables on the edge here, and I don't know about the neckline, perhaps high, perhaps V. And then it cinches in for a long rip in the waist, or longer rip, not necessarily long. I can just see it for me. It's gonna look gorgeous. Like with a bit of perhaps 2 strands of something, or a bit of thicker, like the generous cardigan thickness, as I talked about there. Yeah, that's number 1. That's the second one I'm thinking is I have a lot of camisole ideas. One of them is with this pretty yarn. This is a completely chaotic ball of yarn. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous yellow color from Garn Lab. It's called Lemon Curry. I love it. It's gorgeous. I bought it last year on Fagfolk. And I have this for camisoles ideas, and well, I'm thinking of like a sweetheart kind of camisole. I haven't tried that before, and I really would like that. That's for that one. Some sort of sweetheart neckline with some straps. And I'm gonna see if I can match it up with my bra straps so I can easily wear a bra underneath. But that's one camisole. Another, I have done one full cable camisole, and that's a bit too much. But I do want a full cable camisole again, but with a bit wider ones, and not with them, the ones I did before. Let's see if I can find a picture. But the cables did go from the straps and got larger, and I love it, and it got down in a V. I'm thinking more of a rounded, perhaps square neck, and then just with them just being there. Not getting larger, not anything. Yeah. And then the last one is a more of like a regular tank top. I'm a bit inspired by the camisole number 5. I knitted one as well, but I want wider, not necessarily ripped, basically not the same. I just like the razor back. Razor back, razor neck. That's wide, but I wanted to go a bit more down in everything. I have this one I'm sure I have a sketch of. So yeah, that's like the vibe I'm going for. And then last year I did knit a t-shirt with some leaves on here, and I could, and I still have an idea for a raglan t-shirt as well, but instead of leaves, just having cables. I've shown this in one of the I made 3 podcast episodes. In one of my podcast episodes, and I'm gonna link it so you can hear me talk about it. It's up in the eye. Is that called, I think? With cables going from the raglan, going down and going in. And I want to make that in a t-shirt as well. I have plenty of ideas, and I'm not gonna make it through all of this in the spring at all. Some of them I'm gonna bring into the summer, some of them I'm gonna forget all about, and I'm sorry, but that's honestly what's gonna happen. I'm gonna forget about it. But yeah, I really think that some of the ideas I have, and I just have ideas, and sometimes my own ideas, well, they come in first because I can't let them go. The patterns, they exist, I can save them and I can make them another time. My self-drafts is my own mind, and I have to, I'm very visual, I need it in my hands, or at least on paper, but the quicker I can start on it, the better it is for me to just, the easier I get it made, the easier I can fix if I don't like it and everything. It's just the visualization for me coming on and saying that's not right, I'm gonna have to go back, and I can remember everything I want. Whereas if I have an idea now and I save it for next half year or for next year, I'm gonna completely have forgotten half of the details that I wanted. I'm gonna be annoyed by that fact. So yeah, if you don't see me knit all of these, please don't be angry or annoyed by me. I just love knitting a lot, and I have so many ideas and I have so many things I want to knit, and honestly I don't think all of these things can be in my closet. I'm also going to knit a t-shirt for my mum in some alpaca yarn. She's always cold, so perfect for her. I'm going to knit that during this summertime, springtime. So yeah, but again, these are for you who stuck around till this time, because I believe this one ended up being quite long. Sorry. Thank you so much for watching this. If you like it, please do leave a like. Write me a little comment. I would love that. Subscribe. And yeah, please let me know if you would love to see something like this again for summertime and fall and so on, because it was actually quite fun. Because I actually got to look into all of these knits that I've been thinking about knitting for so long, and getting a bit more, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do with it if I am to knit it. So yeah, thank you. And yeah, remember, if you want to see more from me, besides subscribing, you can find me on both TikTok and on Instagram. I go by Michelle Knapman there. I go by Michelle Knapman. Oh, at by Michelle Knapman. So yeah, I hope to see you perhaps soon. But I hope you stay well until then, and have a nice day. Bye.